Hey guys, Tyler here. Day 9 of my 30-day vlog challenge. And tonight I'm going to talk about sustainability. Um, Sustainability came up in my sustainable agriculture class, and it's quite a complicated concept. I mean, basically, it means like something which can continue on indefinitely. And within the context of agriculture, that means farming in a way that can continue on indefinitely. But the more you examine the food system and the way um, agriculture is actually carried out in reality, even things like organic production, where something is certified organic, according to a government definition of what that means. Organic is in no way the organic label doesn't actually guarantee that your your product was made sustainably. Um, so it's pretty hard to, what with modern tractors and that run on fossil fuels and um, you know tools that are built in factories that run on fossil fuels. It's pretty difficult to have a completely self-contained closed system that is able to be repeated indefinitely, fitting the definition of sustainability. So within that context, um, it puts into perspective, for example, lots of consumer products which claim to be sustainable and are sold with that as sort of a perk. And for many of these products, if you were to actually take a look at it, a green product, it would be difficult to say that it could be continue to be produced indefinitely. And so that's like a very specific example of of something that um, relates to sustainability. But let's um, let's back up and and take a broad example where, if we look at sort of how our entire economy, the world system, is set up, um, we're not really, we don't have people looking for a way in which it can be sustainable. Um, Currently, the number one driving force for decisions in the business world and in the politics world um, is profit, is money. Because if you don't have money, you're not going to survive in this world. That's just common sense. But what that does from the perspective of sustainability is shut out any options or ways of looking at setting up things broadly and generally in such a way as we'll be able to continue doing these things. So everything in a sense is a stopgap, is a short-term measure, which eventually down the road, just by definition, is something which is going to have to be changed. So it's interesting because as popular as sustainability is in the commercial sphere, um, we haven't really looked at what sustainability would actually entail in a system-wide perspective. So it would be interesting to hear people's take on the food system, for example, or the banking system, or the way in which resources are harvested and applied to create um, the products that we use in our everyday lives. And it would be interesting to hear people's perspectives on how we can make these processes sustainable, how we can close loops that can continue on infinitely. Because for the most part, our experts and our leaders haven't really applied themselves in coming up with solutions that will work. It's almost like a politician's job is to fix problems. And so if once they get into office they actually fix all the problems or any of the problems, then they're what are they going to do? So it would be cool if us as concerned citizens did our part to research how things work presently and how they might work in a sustainable way. And not the whole green movement, organic, hippie, crunchy, sustainable. I mean, in a way that adheres to the principle of common sense in terms of saying if we set up this system in this way because we've applied the principle of prevention as the best cure and worked out all the possible optimal ways of doing it. If we then apply this, it's going to work and it's going to keep working. And so it would be quite interesting if each one of us, sort of like the basic income movement in Europe. I don't know if you've been following that, but it's a movement to end poverty there by guaranteeing everyone an income sufficient to cover their basic requirements for life in their food and water and housing, etc. They just had a signature drive and got something around a quarter million, excuse me, 250,000 signatures, and in support of this. And so it's been cool to see people engage in productive discussions towards something like ending poverty. But it would be really cool if we stepped back and reframed the debate around something such as, how can we make the entire economy function sustainably? And to that end, I would suggest, if this is something that interests you, to check out some of the links below, where you can learn more about this thing being promoted, called the Living Income Guaranteed. And it's similar to a basic income, but it's, while it's still in development, the scope of it is broader in terms of the project, if you want to call it that. The Living Income Guaranteed project is designed to facilitate coming up with solutions to every aspect of our life and living, from banking to jobs to education to transportation, everything that has been set up in a way that doesn't work now can be examined, and we can work towards together by bringing our ideas and perspectives to the table, in a principled way towards coming up with a viable solution. We can together, promote our own solutions, sort of in a build it and they will come idea of how things work, where if we can create a living document that has considered everything and remains what's best for everybody in terms of laying out the groundwork for a sustainable system, then as citizens we don't have to sit here and deal with ineffective leaders. We can use the internet and our social networks, real and virtual, to promote effective political solutions until we have enough interest in implementing them to start and install our own political parties who are dedicated to initiating these sustainable solutions for life on Earth. So, thanks for watching, and join us.